Hi, this is Ast3rix and welcome back to my channel. So today I just wanted to kind of spend a little bit of time and show you guys what I've been working on here lately. So I've been messing around with guitar quite a bit, so much to the point I decided to want to learn how to play. So, you know, when you first start playing, you're not fantastic at it, but kind of part of your practice is learning how to play chords and get your fingers used to being able to create chords. So lately I've been doing a lot of that, and my fingers, my left hand is like totally just jacked to be damned. It's gonna be a while before I would consider myself to be any good, but I wanted to still try to be able to incorporate what I'm learning into my music. So, okay, so I am also messing around with harmonies as usual. So I pulled out the harmony navigator, started looking at the circle of fifths, and lately I've been playing a lot of G and C chords. So I wanted to figure out what matched up with that. So I did from a G to a C, and then I said, okay, what can I do that would make this a little bit harmonically more balanced? So I decided I wanted to do an A minor, and then I went from A minor to a D minor. So it is a little strange when you're looking at it from the chord chart, but it works, and I'm just going to show you what I did here. Let me turn off all of the effects as well so you can just kind of hear what's happening. And I did have some effects playing with the guitar, so alright, let me turn off everything else so you can just hear my bad playing. Okay, so that's just as G to C, and then I went so I did an A minor to a D. Okay, so from there, I decided I wanted to jazz it up a little bit, so let me just show you what I did with that. So I'm using the Guitar Rig 5, and I'm using a patch. It's called Slow Motion Movie. Okay, so from there, I decided I wanted to put a synth part in there to kind of jazz it up a little bit more. So I broke out the Hive, and in the Hive, I'm using a patch called Afternoons in Dystoria. And I am messing with Portal on this one, and I'm using something called Digital Tape Toys, and I have it like quarter way. And I don't actually think I messed with my grains on this one. I think the grains are like right where they're supposed to be when you use that patch. But then I pulled out my old trusty unfiltered audio. It's an Indent 2, and I'm using a patch called Bandpass AGC. And from there, this is what this one sounds like. Let me just show you that one. So kind of dreamy, kind of ethereal, kind of sounding stuff. It's okay. It works though. So from there I added. Let's see. What is this? I think it's a drums. Yeah, kick and a snare. can jazz it up, you know. Bad playing doesn't have to sound bad. Okay, then I have a hi-hat in there. And then I added an 808, which is in D. And it really beefed it up. And I've got this really weird offset melody that I'm screwing around with. And where would it be without a little vocal snip? Okay, so again, I just kind of started with some basic chords, and pretty much you can do this with piano too, and that's what the Harmony Navigator does for me. It helps me to kind of navigate harmonies in ways that I wouldn't normally think about doing. So sometimes I'll just start with a key, and I just kind of want to see where things kind of lie on the circle of fifth wheel. And again, that I went from an A minor to a D, which is, if you even look at this, when I actually started out playing C and G, or G to C, see how that doesn't even kind of line up almost. And then I went from that to playing an A minor to playing a D. So if I go to A minor, see how when you light up A minor, well, let me show you what I'm doing. So if you light up the A minor, it shows you what harmonically matches with it. So from A minor to D minor matches. But my what I started out with was a C, because I wanted to see what was in the key of C, because I wanted to play a G and a C, and I knew that matched up harmonically. So that's kind of where I started. So I wasn't too far off, because again, you can it hops down if you're looking at the minor side of things. It does have like a harmonic. It's called a subdominant. It's a G minor, but I kind of went totally opposite, and I went from there to like the A minor, which took it kind of in a it made it like transition, almost like a transition upward, is what it sounds like to me. So I'm experimenting with harmonies and doing different things with harmonies too. It's about experimentation. Just don't be afraid to try it. Sometimes things don't work out the way that you want, but that's okay. You can screw up and keep going. Not every song is a hit song. What can you say? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't hurt to try new things and experiment. And that's what I do. So that is what I've been doing. Just learning new things and experimenting more. I hope you guys have seen the new album. I went ahead and released it, and it's on most of the stores, with exception of Google. I decided to not go with Google. Just the little odd behaviors with Google Play and with YouTube, and how it displays things and how they publish your music, handle it. So I think I'm just going to stay with the stores that I've selected, all of the rest of them. So if you're looking for it, I'm sorry if you're on Google Play and you're on Google or YouTube Music. I just decided to not go there. I'm sorry. But all of the others are working, like Tidal and Apple Music and Amazon Music and iTunes Music, Deezer. Everywhere else is working great. So check it out. Um, Again, it was a culmination of a lot of the things that you've watched me do on the channel. So it was kind of cool to be able to show you guys how I built the track and then actually finalize everything and get it sounding correct and then releasing it. So it was a really fun project for me to be able to put together. I ended up doing some um, tracks with Scrooge and Mayhem, and those those came out really really well. I'm really happy with them. Um, it was a lot of work working with vocalists locally, getting things like the takes. We had a couple of different take sessions where I had to have them come back and we redid vocals, and it was just a lot of work, but it was a lot of fun. Um, but I learned a lot of stuff from this project, specifically about mixing levels. There's still some things I got to work on with my mastering, the normalizing, and really getting my head wrapped around how to do it at a level that's more, uh, probably a little bit louder than what I had it. But when I listen to it, it's pretty consistent across the board, which is pretty good. I'm gonna probably use from now on like an example kind of track for volume. I think that'll be more helpful to me. I actually ended up I started using Isotopes mastering suite, but after spending some time with it, I really didn't like the way that it sounded using their plugins. I think I was just used to using the UAD stuff and using a lot of the Waves plugins that I'm used to using. So I ended up like mixing and mastering everything within Ableton, and that was different because I actually didn't think I was gonna go that route. But it actually turned out okay. So I was able to mix and master everything within Ableton, and I didn't really have any problems with it. I was able to get everything all balanced, and I spent a lot of time like listening and doing some gain staging and making sure all the instruments kind of fit in the mix, and it was a lot of fun. So again, I did, I learned a lot from this one, and I'll be working with Scrooge and Mayhem on their next projects. So be on the lookout for those. Of course, I'm definitely gonna be way more experimental with my next project, especially with the guitar stuff. The more I learn with guitar, the more experimental it gets. So just like this is an example of what I was trying to do. It's like you can only do so much with samples, and it was not working for me with the samples because there were things that I was hearing like chords and that kind of stuff that I just couldn't do, which is why I chose to try to learn how to play. And I'm only starting, so just starting out with chords is great. It's a great learning experience for me. It'll get better over time, so I'm not really in a rush to be like some kind of crazy rock star. That's not where I'm trying to go. I'm just trying to do more experimental stuff with my music, make it sound a little bit more musical, and venture more into more really interesting harmonic patterns, and make it more, make it kind of, I think I just really like a mixture of different genres of music. I think that's kind of a it's more of how what I grew up listening to basically. It's like a collage of different genres. So from a musical perspective, I think that's why my music sounds the way it does, is because I hear all these melodies and patterns in my head, just because it's just a natural part of me now. So, well, that's all I've got. I just wanted to just kind of share with you guys what's happening, and let you know I'm still here. I'll start back doing more my experimental Sundays on Sunday. Trying to get back on track on keeping up with the channel. I'll probably start doing other types of things as well. More musical stuff. Maybe more chord-based harmony stuff too. Since that's what I've been focusing on here lately. I think it'll be fun to just kind of share with you my thought processes and how I think about how I approach harmonies. I think it'll be, I don't know, maybe it'll be helpful to somebody. I don't know. I really just try to do things that are fun for me musically on the channel. Hopefully it's helping someone, just to see that if you try different things harmonically, that you can be quite successful at doing it. Well, that's all I've got. Again, guys, check out the new album. It's called Iced Out and Alien, and it's again in all the stores with the exception of Google and YouTube. And I'll see you guys on Sunday.